I was watching a video on YouTube by Mark Goldbridge. I think it was done on Friday or Saturday, one of those 2 days. And he was talking. He was doing like a preview of this game on the United Stand, his one of his channels, and he basically said that he predicted Manchester United would win 3-1. He acknowledged that Fulham had a experienced team, but he figured Manchester United, based on how they played last week against Arsenal, would win the game 3-1. Well, here's the thing that I don't think he quite grasps yet. Okay, and this is something that I had to grasp about 5 years ago when Arsenal was finishing in 9th or 10th place. Is you are not a big team, okay, until proven. Okay, and yes, you may have had it when you had Sir Alex Ferguson as your manager. You may have won trophies, blah, blah, blah. But you are not a big team until proven otherwise, okay? And right now, Manchester United is not a big team, okay? And to sit there and say that your team is going to win 3-1 at Fulham is quite, even though they're an experienced team, you need to be able to grasp who you are and your station in life and your team's station in life. Now, when you look at the statistics of the game ended 1-1, okay? Fulham basically had 52% to 48% of the possession of Manchester United. Fulham had 4 shots on goal to 3 by Manchester United, 14 shots total over Fulham, 10 by Manchester United. Fouls, 12-10 Fulham over Manchester United. A yellow card apiece for each team, no reds. 9 corners for Fulham, 6 to Manchester United. 3 saves by Fulham, 2 for Manchester United. But for all intents and purposes, I thought Fulham was a better team. Just like Manchester United was the better team against Arsenal. Look, think about this for a second. Manchester United was the better team. They had 60% to 40% for against Arsenal. They controlled the game. They controlled possession. They did everything you could possibly want to do except score a goal, and they end up losing the game 1-0. Arsenal, second best in most aspects of the game, still beats Manchester United at Old Trafford 1-0. Okay? This is an example of what it's like to play on the road in the Premier League. Manchester United against Fulham, a difficult place to play at Craven Cottage. And again, Mark Goldbridge said it was going to be 3-1 minutes. Well, again, you're not a big team. You cannot just go there and expect to dominate and beat Fulham 3-1, especially a team like Fulham. Okay, Fulham has a bunch of ex-Arsenal players on there: Bernard Leno, Alex Iwobi, and the guy who scored the goal for them, Alex Smith-Rowe. Emil Smith-Rowe, sorry. I'm poor with names. I don't know why I said Alex. Apologize for that, Emil. Now, Manchester United also got on our case, set piece Arsenal, set piece FC. They get their goal. And I thought it was his own goal by Rodrigo Muñoz, but Lenny Yoro was the one who headed the ball against Rodrigo Muñoz, and I think he actually pushed him. I thought that was actually going to be called back for a push on the back of the Fulham defender, but it didn't, and the ball bounced off him and went into the goal for an own goal. But then Fulham, that was in the 58th minute, and then the 73rd minute, Smith-Rowe puts the ball in the back of the net, and it's 1-1. Now, Manchester United actually started out pretty well. They hit the post. They attacked pretty well in the first 5-10 minutes. But then Fulham, like I said, their experienced team, they got into the game. They controlled the game, and then they basically ended up getting opportunities to score. Not really great opportunities, but decent opportunities to score on Manchester United. I thought that Bayindir was decent. He wasn't at fault at the goal like he was against Arsenal, but he had a decent game. all things being equal. And I think it was Onana on the bench for this game. Yes, Onana was on the bench for this game, but looks like Bindier is going to get his shot at the number one spot for Manchester United, number one goalkeeper for Manchester United. But the other big thing that I thought was Bessie got called for a penalty in the first half on Mason Mount, and I didn't think I thought Luke Shaw fouled the Fulham player. I thought there were two fouls that they pretty much canceled each other out, but referee didn't agree. He called the penalty kick, and Bruno Fernandes, I guess he has his little system of how he takes a penalty kick. Well, he bumped into the referee, and it took him off his game, and he skied it. He kicked it over the bar, and that was it. Bruno Fernandes did a very poor job on the penalty, and that would have been Manchester up 1-0. Assuming that everything plays out in the second half, they would have won the game 2-1. But because he got knocked off his routine, Manchester United and Bruno Fernandes skies the penalty kick, and the game, the game ends up 1-1. Again, I thought Fulham was a better team. This is the difference between playing on home and playing on the road in the Premier League. Again, Manchester United, after 2 games, has a point. Now, they play Burnley at home next week, which they should win. They should be able to get 4 points after 3 games, and we'll see how that all pans out. But, Burnley did beat Sunderland yesterday 2-0, and I think Manchester United is just a little bit better than Burnley, but again, we'll find that out next week. But again, I thought Fulham was a better team. I thought they played better than Manchester United, but Manchester United gets a draw, 1-1. Again, to Mark Goldbridge, again, to sit there and say we're going to win 3-1, even though Fulham's an experienced team. Come on, give me a break, pal. This is not your grandmother's or your mama's Fulham team that was a yo-yo team that was going up into the Premier League and the Championship. This is Fulham that is that is 9th or 10th place. They're in your area. This is a Fulham team that finished above you in the Premier League last year. Okay, this is a Fulham team that is that is capable of beating a Manchester United. Okay, you are, until proven otherwise, at best a 9th, 10th place team. Anyway, that's how I see this. Please click like, share, and subscribe, and have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.